What does it take to get leaner than 99% of people? You see, if I compare myself to the most popular influencers on the internet, I barely look like I lift. But how do I actually compare against the population as a whole? To find out, I decided to give myself 8 weeks to get a physique that would put me in the top 1% of all men, to find out what a 1 in 100 physique actually looks like and just how hard it is to actually achieve. And to make sure I see this goal all the way through the end, I made a bet I probably shouldn't have. In 60 days, if I can't get a score that is lower than 99% of people, I'll give $1,000 to your boxing charity.
Really?
$1,000.
Okay.
I got my mind set on you.
So in 60 days, I'm getting a DEXA scan. And to score in the top 1%, I'll need to hit a body fat of just 14.8% or lower. But for simplicity on this bet, we're rounding up to an even 15.
Hey, what are you at right now?
Okay, I don't actually know.
What? What?
So if I want to have any chance at succeeding on this goal, I'm gonna need some help from an expert. So I went to talk with trainer Jeremy Etier to see if there was any chance I could hit this goal in the timeline I have set. I kind of made a bet that I would be below 15% in the next 8 weeks.
In the next 8 weeks. And do you know where you're at now?
No idea.
All right.
Okay, I can admit this was a dumb bet to make. However, I do think there is a good reason why I made it. You see, this year I really want to see what I'm capable of if I truly push myself outside of my comfort zone across all areas of my training. And with maintaining a consistent diet and nutrition plan being the area I tend to struggle with the most, by making this bet, I've effectively backed myself into a corner where I am going to have to see that through and just hope that the goal I've selected is going to be achievable in the time that I have.
Dude, you are looking lean. What the?
Is this good?
This is already way leaner than last time. Let's
I
go.
was feeling confident. This is good.
Yeah, well, why do you care about what a DEXA scan says?
It's just
I feel like
for him to bet.
And while Jeremy seemed optimistic about my starting physique, we decided to run 2 assessments to try and guess what my starting body fat actually was. Starting with the military standard, which clocked me in at
13.3%,
Okay.
which is
another decent sign.
honestly where I would put you at, which is why I'm saying the DEXA.
Next, we use calipers on my chest, thigh, and lower abs, and this time calculate my body fat at 18.5%.
Again, if we're just doing math and we're assuming you're at 18%, it means that you will have to get down to about 145 pounds to be safe. But again, that has to be pure fat, right? This all assumes that right now, if you were to go get a DEXA, you'd be at 18%.
And we have no idea.
We have no idea. My recommendation would be for the next 8 weeks, aim for about 1 pound of fat loss per week and just make sure you're really pushing hard in the gym to keep muscle, but also build a little bit more of it.
And based on my current weight, I'll be sticking to a daily calorie target of 1,850 calories, a target that even in week 1 already feels pretty limiting. So this bowl is all the snack I can have tonight. It is my last 50 calories, and that is it.
For you to get 15% body fat on a DEXA, because of your body fat distribution, it's probably gonna be like a lot leaner than you realize and a lot more uncomfortable than what most people at 15% body fat would feel.
The reason Jeremy suspects this is because my legs actually have a relatively higher body fat percentage with a lower muscle mass. And the less muscle I am carrying over my legs means the more stubborn body fat I will have to lose and the lower my calories may have to go in order to hit this goal. So admittedly, I am realizing I have an even narrower window for success than I even initially thought. But I am hopeful if I am pushing hard through 5 workouts a week, in addition to my fat loss, I could see a little bit of muscle growth through my legs, even if that means pushing every set all the way to failure. Bulgarians are honestly the worst. You want to quit at rep 10, but then you just push through 11, 12, 13 before I finally failed. It's crazy how much I want to fail at the end just so I don't have to do another one. And these workouts aren't just taxing in the moment, but there's a carryover soreness I'll have to deal with as well, which could be a problem, as I was hoping to make progress with a second goal at the same time. You see, in the past when I put my focus into fat loss or strength training goals, my conditioning would really fall off. So to prevent that from happening this time, I am timing myself, running a 5K, and if I can't beat my time today by the end of this goal, that will also count as losing the bet. And while I'm timing myself, I want to take a moment to talk about the sponsor of this video, AG1. With so many demands that we place on our bodies every day, drinking AG1 is a great way to make sure that you're giving yourself the essential vitamins and nutrition you need to perform at your best. And the reason I know that is because recently we've gotten results from multiple studies testing AG1 against double-blind placebos. They not only found improved digestion and gut health in the groups drinking AG1, but even when tested within subject groups who were already maintaining a healthy diet, the subjects who were drinking AG1 actually hit 94% of their daily nutrition targets, compared to just 71% for the group that was relying on diet alone. 3 kilometers in now, and I can feel it. Side is cramping up a little bit, and my pace is dropping. Pairing AG1 with an already healthy diet and lifestyle is a great way to ensure that you're filling your body with everything it needs to perform at its best. Finish line in sight. AG1 is now available in multiple flavors, with my favorite being their citrus and berry. Get started with AG1 for less than $3 a day when you subscribe. Just head to the link in our description or scan our QR code. And now, back to my ride. 28 minutes and 22 seconds. That is not an amazing time by any stretch. I honestly think if I'm sticking with it, I should be able to improve from here, but we'll see what these next 8 weeks have in store. After 2 weeks of training and tracking, my weight loss was exactly on target.
Let's go.
However, when I pitched Jeremy my plan to balance my cardio training with my fat loss goals, he had some reservations.
If you're putting a ton of energy into your workouts, right, to maintain your muscle, but you also have these performance-driven goals with cardio, eventually, like, something is gonna have to give.
My workouts have sucked this week. Pretty much every exercise has either plateaued or started to go backwards. I just hope this is a bad week and things are gonna bounce back, because this is not a good sign. I think I'm just like telling myself like, oh, maybe it's because I'm already this lean and I'm just way ahead of schedule.
I embrace you being delusional, so let's go with that. Maybe you just need some extra calories to fuel your workouts.
Dude, come on. I would like to say I'm surprised, but really I'm just, I'm disappointed by this. I'm disappointed in my brother trying to sabotage me. But it's not gonna work. It is not gonna work. So with barely any wiggle room in my diet already, these donuts were getting gifted to my church group. And I get to take the credit. But resisting some donuts was about to be the least of my worries, as I realized the timeline of this bet actually overlapped with a trip I had planned home to visit my parents. And while I'm looking forward to this trip, I won't have the same control over what foods I have available, and I can count on my parents to stock up their kitchen with tons of tasty desserts and high-calorie snacks. Okay, so I was just sitting here and reading, and I just habitually found myself picking up these little donuts that my dad has and munching on them. And by the time I'd eaten 4, I kind of realized I should just check to see how many calories they are. And when I looked, 4 of these was 520 calories. That is more calories than I ate for breakfast. Not a good start. However, I am planning to help my dad with a project this week that should keep me active, though I'm not sure what kind of exercise to call this. So one thing that I have been working on every time I visit my parents now is my dad and I have been trying to build this rock roadway down to the water so that my mom and dad can drive their canoe out and go fishing. And that basically just involves grabbing 5-gallon buckets, filling them with rocks, and then dumping them over and over and over again into the pile until it is done. But will lugging all these rocks burn all the calories my parents are trying to feed me? We will see. While I wouldn't recommend trying to outwork a bad diet, I do think I should explain how I've been managing my calories on days when I incorporate longer cardio sessions. as this will apply to my vacation diet as well. Because I don't want to lose weight too fast and increase my chance of muscle loss, I've been using my Apple Watch to track how many calories I burn with each exercise. However, if I burn 500 calories on a run, I can't just add an extra 500 to my diet. As the more calories you burn during a workout, the harder your body will work to avoid losing additional calories through the rest of the day. So to compensate for a 500 calorie run, I may eat the equivalent of an extra 250 calories to keep me on track with my goal of just losing a pound each week. And 700 calories trying to build a road will add up to about 3 donut minis. I'm not sure this is the perfect approach for calculating, but doing this has helped me hit my weight loss goal 5 weeks in a row, while consistently increasing my distance runs, staying on track with my workouts, and my dad and I actually did finish the road 2 days before I was supposed to fly back. So honestly, this makes the first 5 weeks of this goal a win-win-win as far as I'm concerned.
Eventually, like, something is gonna have to give.
I am crashing hard. This is the 3rd day in a row where I have needed a nap and just woke up in a puddle of my own drool. And it's like, I cannot function right now. I cannot function. So 6 weeks after Jeremy's warning, his prediction finally came true. And for a week straight, I slept for 10 hours a night, napped in the afternoon, and overall just felt like trash. It feels like I've been sick, but with like no actual symptoms.
How many weeks left do you have of this?
I'm starting to feel like not enough.
Oh.
Don't smile about that.
How could I not be smiling?
You're not a good sibling. So to explain more about how our $1,000 bet works, Cam is currently training as part of a 12-week program that will end with him competing in a live boxing event to raise money for Eastside Boxing, a not-for-profit that helps inner-city youth here in Vancouver. The program is an awesome cause that I am going to make a donation to either way, but after not seeing any progress on the scale last week, I've got 2 weeks to make all the progress I can. And fortunately, after a week where almost all I did was sleep, my strength on a number of exercises was slowly starting to tick back up. In some cases, very, very slowly. And visually, I was starting to see the progress over my abs, even when I'm not flexing, as well as visible striations through my shoulders and vascularity in my arms that I've never had before. So I was getting to the elevator after a workout, and I just heard this voice go like, "Mom, look." And I looked down and saw this kid who was maybe 3 years old, and he's just like pointing at my bicep. And of course his mom's doing like, "Sweetheart, no, we don't point." And I was just like, actually it's fine. In this case, it felt pretty good. I've also started taking progress photos each morning, as the leaner people tend to get, the harder it actually becomes for them to notice these small improvements along the way.
Dude, that's nuts. I've never seen you look this lean before.
I have been telling you, I am making progress with this, man.
This is the first time I've felt a morsel of uncertainty about winning.
But with every metric I'm tracking, it does feel like I should be right on target to hit this goal. And as hard as I'm working to get that top 1% score on my final scan, what I'm really proud of through all of this is the fact that I am continuing to make progress from where I was 4 years ago, from where I was last year, whether that is getting stronger in the gym, getting smarter and more strategic about preparing my meals so my fat loss feels easier and sustainable, or just finally figuring out how to balance my cardio work with my strength training while seeing progress in both areas. And with that, I'm gonna go make good on the first part of this bet.
3, 2, 1, go. There he goes.
While all of my cardio in the past 8 weeks has been low intensity zone 2 runs for longer and longer distances, I'm hoping I can avoid burning myself out too early as I did on my first run. First kilometer, 5:13, 2 kilometers, coming to the halfway point. 4th kilometer, 21:03, home stretch. Just push it now. Just a little bit left. A little bit left.
Here he comes, here he comes.
Your final time? 26:42.
It's a big improvement.
Dang, bro.
Oh, that hurt.
He's a runner. He's a runner.
Now for the final test.
Here we go. Your final results. Body fat percentage,
It's gotta be right.
15.3%.
0.3.
Yep, 15.3%. There, sir. There. It's for a good cause. It's for a good cause.
While my final results do fall within the margin of error, according to my scan, I need to lose an extra ½ pound of fat to win this bet. But when I look at my progress visually, this really is the leanest I have ever been. With the bulk of my fat loss actually coming from the most stubborn areas of my body, specifically across my lower abs and core, as well as over my lower back, with my DEXA results placing me in the 97th percentile. And while I don't recommend comparing your progress against anyone else's, I do think these results reveal just how much of an outlier the majority of physiques we see online actually are. And for most of us, just sticking to a consistent diet and training plan is more than enough to see incredible results. If you want further proof of this, I recommend you watch this video next, where my brother trained a busy dad for 100 days and you can see his full transformation. And if you want to see the results of Cam's training and his final match, then be sure to subscribe for when that video comes out.